There's something going on with this coronavirus and this lockdown. Why are we getting test kits that are contaminated with coronavirus? Why are we ordering them from China? Why are we still trusting Huawei, etc.? Why are we still rolling out the 5G, even though it's known to cause flu-like symptoms? And why is the media saying that that's a conspiracy theory when it's acknowledged by the military? It's another case of these gov.uk is a conspiracy theory website because, the mainstream normie media didn't say so. There are so many questions. And I don't make any statements here. I'm just asking questions. Why are all these the case? Why is the media saying that evidence is a theory? Once again, just like Pizzagate, evidence is a theory. You're not even going to look at the evidence. You're not going to consider the FBI symbols or the credibility of it all. You're just going to call it a theory because it's too ridiculous and you can't accept the responsibility for it because everyone would have to be indicted and it would be too horrible for people to accept and they wouldn't be able to handle it or sleep again, etc., etc. But evidence of a conspiracy isn't a theory. It isn't a conspiracy theory. There's actual evidence and you're following it, no matter how uncomfortable it makes you, and no matter how much or how often cognitive dissonance sets in and you think, oh, these people are ridiculous, this can't be true, this must be a faulty source, whatever. You know, the usual fight or flight responses that you make to try and reason with yourself that these cannot be true. But then when you actually look at the evidence, you find it is true. But everyone believes it isn't, so it can't be. Well, the same's true of 9/11, isn't it? The same's true of the moon landing, the same's true of everything. Everyone believes the official story. Why? But what would I know? I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist who uses evidence, right? I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist who knows that Bill Gates ran a simulation of a global pandemic 2 months before the actual pandemic took place called Event 201. He's got his name signed to a thing called ID 2020, and personally I worked out that COVID is covert ID, because that's what it's a cover for. Just like the 5G is the cover for the sickness. And I actually quite like the theory that this other doctor, I can't remember his name now, but makes, which is that the body creates viruses, rather like the body creates cancer, as a response to immunity or immunosuppression. So the body creates its own viruses. That's why we're tested and we have these viruses in our system. It's not a thing that spreads around. It's an interesting theory. And you can imagine it being right, because the official narrative for viruses hasn't even got a cure for the common cold, hasn't got a cure for herpes, hasn't got a cure for anything. And is that because they're withholding the cure because they want to keep making money on the treatment? Well, it could be. It could be because they've never been able to make one, because they've got a wrong understanding of viruses. But of course, that's a conspiracy theory, because everything we know now is correct, according to the media and the government, and all your normie friends who parrot their narratives. Sooner or later it gets to the point where there's too many coincidences and it becomes mathematically impossible. And that's where we are now.